Hey everyone, this video is going to show you how to combine images within Photoshop. It's a pretty easy thing to do, but it's one of those things, if you don't know, then you need to be shown how to do this because there are different ways of going about it. The easiest way that I'm going to show you what I feel like is the easiest way, okay? But there are other ways to do it, and you have to be your own judge. And that's, really that's the thing about Photoshop. That is so intriguing, that always has been one of the features that I love about the program, is that there are usually two or three, if not more, different ways to do the same thing. So just because I do things a certain way doesn't mean that you have to do them that same way, because Photoshop most likely offers a different way to do it. And if you're doing it the other way, it's okay. That's why I give you a whole lot of freedom when it comes to your assignments, because I understand that you might like one tool better than I like it, or you might like to use a tool in a different way than what I would use it. Either way, as long as you are learning every one of the tools and you're able to use them all proficiently, that's all that matters. If whatever combination that you want to use them in is up to you. Okay, so let's get started. I have some files. These are actually from my CS6 book, so ignore the dates. I mean, they're kind of old. Might be the same files that we're using this semester. I'm pretty sure some of them definitely are, because they're familiar. So I could go about different ways of opening up this file. Now I could go to click on my Photoshop here, and I could go to File, and I could go Open, okay, and then locate that file that way. Or I could double click on the file. If I want to open PS4-1, I could just double click on it and open it up, as long as my file format is oriented to open up in Photoshop, okay? That's if you don't know what I'm talking about there, and your computer does not automatically open up your Photoshop files when you click on them, let me know, and I will. If there's enough people that have that problem, I'll do a little video on how to fix that for you, okay? Alright, but here's the easiest way. To me, it's the easiest way. I like to click on the file and just drag it over into Photoshop, and bam, it opens up. That, to me, is like the easiest way to do it. Often, what I will do too, if I don't have a Photoshop window pulled up, which typically I don't, is I will, and you can't see because my screen's not long enough. Maybe I can move my screen down here so you can see the dock on my Mac. Is I will click on the file and just drag it down to the icon and then let go, and it opens it up. Of course, it's already opened up here, but that's usually what I do. Like if I want to open up 4-2, now I have both those files open. I just think that's just one of the simplest ways to open up files. But again, if you have the file orientation set correctly on your computer, you can just double click and it'll open up in there too. Now, another really cool way of combining images is, although I have PS4-2 already open in a separate window, because you can see I have separate windows here. See how they come up in different tabs? I'm going to clear these guides too. So, this is a good thing about videos. You get to learn little things as we go along, because you're going to see things that on my screen that you may not see in the book. So we're just going to go to View and slide down to Clear Guides, okay? And then those blue lines go away. Guides are ruler guides. Very, very handy. You use them all the time to align stuff, especially in InDesign. I use them all the time in InDesign. And I do use them quite a bit in Photoshop as well. But you just pull them out from your rulers here. And, so like if you want to line something up right at the edge of that chair, you've got a nice guide going down through there. If you want it to be right at the top of the chair and right at the edge, then now you've got a nice intersection there made for you. And then again, you can just go to View, Clear Guides. Alright, so I've got this window open, and I want to move this coffee cup over to that window. Now, there's a couple ways that I could do that. The first way would have been, let me just close that back up, would have been to have this window open and then just drag this file on top of that window. And then it automatically imports that picture into my Photoshop file. So you can see here that in my layers panel, I have the cup, I have the table, and I have the background. Now, of course, I'm going to have to do some resizing, and we'll get to that in a minute. But the way it is now, you know, at least it's in there. It's not in a separate file. So it is combined at this point. All right. Now, I'm going to hit cancel on that, and that's up here in the options bar. And it's a cancel transform, and that will take that away. All right. Now, another way, I'm going to drag that back down here and open it in a separate window. I just dragged that down to my dock like I showed you a while ago. And it opens it up in a separate window. You see my tabs here. And you can move these tabs around. Like if you don't like them tabs to be docked, and some people don't, and sometimes I don't, depending on what I'm doing. Sometimes I want to see both things at the same time. So I will undock a lot. But then you can just put it back up there. See that big blue line come up? And I lost my other one somewhere. There it is. Sometimes you have to move things around and get them back out where you want them at. It's kind of like shuffling papers. Okay, and now I want to put this one back up there. And notice how it turned blue. That's saying, okay, you're lined up. You can let go now. So now let's look at what we would do if we wanted to just move this item into this file. So you could click on it, get on your selection tool here, and you notice that I have two layers here, but the background layer is just, it's actually just a transparent layer, and it's locked. Really the only items that we have in here is on layer 1 here, and I can see by moving that around that that is all on one layer. Now if there's two different ways I could go about doing this. I could undock both of these. Okay, or undock one so that I can see both of them, and then click on that and move it off into this layer here. Okay, I could do that. I'm going to undo. That is a Command or Control Z, or well, shoot, lost my file here. I could dock that again, and then I could just take this item and move it up to this file. Notice that when I hover over that file, it becomes highlighted, so it tells me that that is the active one. Okay, and then I can just bring it down here and let go. You don't see it, but as long as you're clicked on it and you're holding your mouse button, then it has it. It's like it's grabbed it. Okay, but you have to continuously hold your mouse button the whole time. Don't let go, because then it goes off into, you know, the virtual kingdom somewhere. We're not sure where that's at yet, but okay, so there you go. And this way is actually kind of better than what we did a while ago with opening. Like, let me close this file again, because if you'll notice, I'm going to hit don't save, that, well, where are you going there? If I just take this and drag it off into this file, remember it's a whole lot bigger. But if I bring it over the last way that we did, then it goes with the resolution and file size of the document that you're putting it into. Okay? Now, let's look at this for a minute. Let me just turn this little layer off here. Actually, I'll just go ahead and commit to that. Let's turn this little layer off. Alright, so I have this big coffee cup, and you know, because there could be times that you're bringing an image in and it comes in really big like this. So let's address how we're going to deal with that. There are a few different ways that we can resize this image. Now, you can just grab the sizing handle here, and notice I can make it really tall and skinny, short and fat, or just, you know, gigantic. But all of those ways are out of proportion. So I'm just going to hit an undo on that, which is a Command Z, Control Z. Okay, now if I hold my shift key and click on a corner handle, this, or this, not the side handles, but the corner handles, and pull down, then I can resize it in proportion. Okay, and then I can just drag it up where I want it to be, and just use my eyes to determine what size I want that to be. And then once I get it the size that I want it to be, I need to commit to that selection. Photoshop is not going to let me do anything else until I do something with this selection. So if you're dealing with selections like this and you're using the free transform tool, because that's what we're using here, if you're using that, and I know we didn't bring up free transform tool, but when you start dealing with the sizing handles, the free transform tool automatically comes into play. Okay, so anytime you make a transformation, even if it's just like a pixel, and sometimes that's all it is, you might start to make a transformation and then you're like, no, I don't want to, but it will still say, you're still going to have to say, do you want to commit to that selection? Okay, and like, look, I can get on, let me bring my error file, I can get on my move tool, and it says place the file. Don't place, cancel, or place. Okay, that's one way of placing it. I'm just going to hit cancel. Another way of placing it is up here in your options bar. You see this circle with a slash through it. That means cancel, don't place it. The check mark is yes, I'm done, place it. I can click that, and there it is. Hit undo again. Takes me back out to the right side, or to the size it was. Whoops. And I'm going to resize that down again. Put it in here. Now here's the way I typically do it. Just double click inside. But you got to be inside the frame. Okay? You just got to be inside the frame. Double click and it commits your selection. One other way of doing that is, whoop, didn't hold my shift key down. Had it, but I didn't think I didn't have it good enough, I suppose. Alright, another way of doing that is, here it is activated. Now I can hit my return key, or for your PC users, your enter key, and that will commit the selection. So, as I said, different ways to do different things in Photoshop. You got to hunt around, try to find different, well, you might see different things on videos. Like if you're doing any kind of tutorials from online, which I highly recommend doing that, there's so many different tutorials out there. But then you're going to get all these different graphic designers who do things differently. So some may do their selections by double clicking inside the frame like I do. Some may commit by hitting a return key, and some may commit by using the checkmark box. So it gives you versatility, but then you just kind of get into the swing of what works best for you. Okay, and that's what it's all about. It's what works best for you. My way may not be what's easier for you. Your way may not be what's easier for me. And like I said, that's the beauty of Photoshop. It offers us several different ways to do the same thing. It's not always the easiest thing to teach Photoshop because of this, but it is a wonderful attribute, for any program to offer you more than one way to accomplish a task. Alright, this does it for this video. Let me know if you have questions.